Hello, y'all. Welcome to the 9th episode of the Lucky Ace podcast. I am your host, Lucky J, along with my co-host here, Jason. Have a great day, Mathe. This is episode 9, right?
Yes, sir. Episode 9.
Perfect. This is episode 9, and we have a special guest with us tonight. My man, the right-hand man to Ledgestone, Mr. Jamie Kemp.
Yes.
What's
absolutely.
going on, brother?
Man, I'm happy to be here. Thank y'all for having me. I mean, I think it's been, about a year or so since we've kind of become friends, and definitly happy to be here in Houston.
Yeah.
And so, thanks.
Yeah,
It's our pleasure.
We're super excited to bring you on. I remember when we first met, right? We always like to start with a little story.
Yeah.
So
Great.
this is going to be our story. Episode 9. So one of the first times we actually met Jamie, because I met you on the phone over a year ago.
I believe we got connected through
Justin
a
Davis.
friend. Yeah, Justin Davis. And who I had met years ago, probably back in 2015 or so, just casually playing on the course. So I'd reach out to him, and then I guess that's how we
So
got
Justin reached out to me and was like, hey, this was actually a cool story. So this is actually going to go further back. Maybe we'll have story time.
Sure.
But I remember when Justin called me, he was just like, hey, are you sitting down right now? And I was like, I'm driving. So yeah.
So, yes.
I am sitting down.
I was kind of standing, but
Yeah, because this was during the time that Discraft was so hard to find.
because of COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of COVID, and then the way they had it set up where you get the mystery box, and you're only allowed a certain amount every or 2 to 3 weeks.
Yep.
And you didn't get to pick your molds yet.
Right.
So it was rough, and we had troubles keeping it in stock. We never really had Discraft. And so Justin calls me and he's just like, are you sitting down? And I was like, yeah, I'm driving, so I'm sitting down. He goes, I think I just solved our Discraft problem. And I was like, yeah? I mean, I have no idea that Justin knows you. You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
So he's like, yeah. He's like, you remember my buddy Jamie that I told you about with Ledgestone? And I was like, yeah, I remember. He's like, well, he was asking about Lucky Ace, and he's looking for wholesale opportunities for shops, like local shops, so that we can start selling not just Discraft, but the Ledgestone stamped Discraft that everybody knows and loves.
Sure.
And I did need to be sitting down because I freaked out. I was like, no, beep, wait, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Like it was crazy. Like especially at the time, and I remember, I don't know if you were with me.
I wasn't with you, but I remember you called me.
I called him
because
right
I was on
away.
the road.
Yeah. So when I figured I was with my son, I was at the mall actually. Yeah. So when I figured it out, I was like, okay, yeah. And he's like, yeah, you just got to get in touch with him, and then he'll get the details and hook you up. And this was like a little before we actually had set up. Look, he's calling me.
Mason calling you again?
Yes.
Does he know? It's like he knows it's time to record.
Podcast time, baby.
Mason.
We're gonna
What a
talk
guy.
about that.
He wants to be in the
Perfect
show.
timing.
He wants to be on the show
Show's gotta be
so
here.
bad.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, you had set me up at Ledgestone to go vend.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So this is where this first funny story starts with Jamie. The first time we met Jamie, actually face to face, was at Ledgestone, and we were supposed to get VIP passes so we could do whatever we want.
Yeah.
And we go up there. We finally meet up with you at where were we at?
I think we were at
Northwoods.
Yep,
Yeah.
Northwoods.
Yep.
And James sitting there on his scooter.
Yeah. Flexing, dude. Just
Yeah,
flexing,
Man,
bro.
hey, scooter is a game changer. I think every tournament director
Needs one.
a scooter, and I think you just bought one.
I almost did.
Oh,
I
okay.
almost did.
All
Did
right.
I show you that one that I found though? The off-roading one?
No,
Okay.
I think you were wanting to buy the same one.
So
that
me
I
and
have.
Lance almost bought one, the one
Sure.
you have, but
Squirrel here, squirrel.
Yeah.
We're getting off a squirrel here.
it's all right.
Yeah.
We're
is
the
fun.
ADD podcast.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey,
Well,
perfect.
I know where we
fit
left
right
off,
in.
so I'll go right back
Yeah,
to it
yeah.
in just a
Nice
second.
cut.
But I did send you the off-roading one
Yes.
that
Okay.
those guys
yeah,
on tour
I did
have.
see
It's
that
like double
one.
the price, but like it goes off-road.
Yeah.
Okay.
The guy was in snow, like
The Yomo or whatever. Yomo.
yeah, those guys.
Gomoko
Oh man, we don't
or-
plug yet.
Oh yeah.
They have to give us a free scooter.
Yeah, you have to give us a free scooter.
Yeah, there was a reason why I don't think I said the name of the scooter because I'm telling you, I'm gonna get them into it because I'm not gonna drop their name until I finally can get a sponsorship or something. They help out at Ledgestone. They come and vend.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
Yeah,
but yes, scooter gang.
Scooter gang. Anyway, I'll get back to that. So we met up with Jamie at Northwoods, right? And we were gonna pick up our VIP passes, and we roll up to him, and you're like, "What's up, man?" And he's like, "Hey." So, and I don't know what happened, but there was no VIP passes.
Yeah. Yes, there weren't, but we got it fixed. Though,
but he was very smooth about it, bro.
Yeah.
But we could smell it in the air. Something was wrong, dude. Something was up.
He just goes.
You can smell it, dude.
He just goes up to me and he goes, "Hey, here. Use this." And it's like a staff for Ledgestone with somebody else's name. I totally forgot.
Sure.
And was like, this will get you wherever you want to go.
Wherever you need to go, this will get you there. Funny story, that staff member actually didn't show up. He literally was a no call, no show. I had hotel booked.
What was his name?
I don't want to say his name
because
then he just didn't show up. Whatever. And this type stuff happens.
Yeah, for sure.
Any job, right? The first day, if you're a manager, you're waiting for this guy to show up or a gal, and they don't show up, and you're just like, well, all right, on to the next one, right? And so the funny story behind that is that I had actually given away the VIP passes that I had originally had for you. I had set some in my pocket. But however, before we started this podcast, we were talking about our dogs and our cats, dogs. Well, I gave the VIP passes to the people who were watching my dogs a couple weeks prior for me to go on another disc golf trip. And so I promised them that I would give them some VIP passes. But now the thing is that they showed up at the worst time because I was supposed to give you your VIP passes. And then, of course, I've been an older gentleman and his wife, looking for some VIP passes. And so I never told you this story, but I was like, look, I got to do what I got to do here. So you got
it was great. So it did work.
And you got to everything.
I got everywhere I needed to be.
Yep.
No problems. Great. But the funny,
very confident. That's confident, bro.
It's all about confidence. I'm just gonna say Rob because I don't remember what the name was. But I was just like, I'm Rob. Yeah. So anyway.
Dude, it was so funny.
It was hilarious because we were driving. I was with Nick and he was in the front. Jason was in the back. Right.
Yeah.
And Nick's like looking on his phone as we're pulling up to Eureka Temp, the course of Ledgestone. Right.
Yeah.
And there's there's staff and media parking. And then there's like the
peasant parking.
Way down. Spectator parking.
Spectator. That's what it is. I'm sorry.
So I pull into the media one, right? Sure. And Nick's not even getting it. He's looking at his phone and he hears me talk to the guy and I go, yeah. He's like, y'all supposed to be here? I was like, yeah, I'm staff. And I hold up my thing and he immediately goes, yeah, okay, go ahead, park in there. Nick just goes and looks up and is like,
wow,
did you just do that? because Nick hadn't been to a big tournament, and it was one of it was our second time at Ledgestone, but our first time vending it.
Yes,
or your first time too, right?
First time there ever. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So it was my second time. The first time I went, I competed with Justin actually.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I was MA3. Justin was playing MA1.
Cool.
So it was my second time there, but it's still cool. Like when you go to one of these, like, yeah, we go to Texas States, but this is Ledgestone, right?
Sure.
It's known to be, a little bit above the rest of the tournaments because it's Ledgestone.
Yes.
So when we pull into that media parking, where I park, we're looking at the fairway of the big water tower.
We're like underneath the water tower.
Yeah. And I forget who was throwing, but Nick's like, oh my God, like.
They hit the basket.
Yeah. Was it Ezra?
Ezra aced it.
Oh, no. Ezra did ace it.
I think it was like Eagle or someone young. Kyle or Eagle or someone younger. And I remember they were walking up.
I think it was Kyle.
I believe it, man. Those guys make it look so easy to throw, 400 plus feet uphill.
Just a hyzer.
With kind of a lower ceiling to get around that tower. I mean, it takes 500-foot.
Mason
power.
splashed out that year.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
He splashed out. We got to see it.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yeah.
OB
crazy.
everywhere too on that hole.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
lots of OB.
Island hole.
It's an island hole. It's insane.
Yeah, it's an iconic hole. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? Like
For sure.
it has all the Discraft stickers on it.
Well, I'm glad that you got to park in the media staff lot. That actually, it may have been that day that I had gotten a call from one of the parks guys out there asking for us to move some of the cars in the staff lot. So now I know
It wasn't me.
the culprit. So
It was
thank
him,
you,
dude.
Jay, for
Yes.
sharing that.
yeah, it wasn't me.
Yeah, I know exactly who the problem was, and
Yeah,
that was
probably
you, Jay.
because like when Nick was so like taken back by it. We get out and I'm like, dude, just act like you're supposed to be here.
Yeah.
And I'm just crossing lines like nothing.
Yeah,
Like,
you're
I'm
gonna
just like
point your
I'm
finger.
supposed to be here. Like
Right.
So and we had such a blast. So thank you for
yeah.
that.
Good.
Yeah, that we had such a blast, man.
No, that's awesome.
But I guess like since we touched on Ledgestone, we met just like a year ago.
Sure.
You're already living in Peoria. But the funny thing is me and Jamie actually went to high schools that were actually right down the road from each other
Yeah.
in San Antonio.
In San
Yep.
Antonio. That's so
Yep, because
crazy.
you went to
I went to Reagan.
you went to Reagan. That's right. For some reason, I was.
He
thinking
wanted to
you
say
went
something bad. Did you see that?
Yeah.
No, I thought you were going. You went to MacArthur, which is where my father went. And
Oh, really?
So, my brother and I, being at Churchill, my father and my mom went to MacArthur, but our big rivals were definitely Reagan. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that I didn't know that before. We really kind of
We would've got the deal.
This whole
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, because then we would.
I
not
went
be
there for a
selling
year.
Ledgestone,
So I mean I went there, but I didn't really go there.
Yeah.
Because then I went to
Okay.
Bernie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and you're familiar with Bernie.
No, you went to Bernie, not Bernie Champions, right? Because there's two.
Yeah, no, I went to Bernie because they didn't
Okay.
have Champion. Actually, Sam Champion was a principal
So you're calling yourself old, right? No.
a little bit.
Yeah, kind of.
He's kind of flexing on his age right now.
Yeah, well-
I never thought I would be on a podcast talking about Sam Champion.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
it's kind of weird.
So weird.
That is hilarious.
He was like a principal that everybody liked. He died, and they named the new school after him. That's
Oh.
why they call it Champion High School.
Okay, did not know that. But their mascot's a Charger or something.
Yeah,
I
different.
think,
Not a
and it's weird.
Greyhound. We're
Right.
we're the Greyhounds.
Yeah,
That
well,
was our thing.
Churchill Chargers, and so I was really upset by that.
Well, that's them, not me.
yeah. So, yeah.
So yeah, so we actually went to high school right down the road from each other. Didn't know each other.
That's awesome.
Well, how old
Yeah.
are you? If you don't mind me asking.
No, I'm 31.
Okay, so then we wouldn't have because I'm a little older than you.
Yeah, just
So-
a couple years.
Yeah,
right?
just by a couple.
sure.
Yeah.
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 yeah, yeah.
But yeah, Reagan being one of our biggest rivals, I don't know that a deal would have gotten done. But I'm glad. I mean, just getting to like look and see, of the Ledgestone, the
presence that we have,
Discraft, it's like this is awesome.
Yeah.
So
No, and that's all thanks to you, man. So
Yeah.
we really appreciate that. But yeah, I want to know, and one of the reasons why I brought you on because I don't even know, is your Ledgestone story. Like a guy from San Antonio. I know you're not from San Antonio, right? You're from Lubbock.
well, I'm actually I am from San Antonio, but
You moved to
I really
Lubbock.
started like disc golf in Lubbock, Texas.
Okay.
And so that's where I learned what disc golf was. That's where I learned how to play. And so Lubbock is kind of my disc golf home. And I've always kind of said that is that, Lubbock, Texas is where I learned how to play the sport. So
And people are like, "What Lubbock,
yeah.
Texas? Where the
Where's
heck is
Lubbock?
that?"
Yeah.
So it's north-
Texas Tech.
Yeah, Texas Tech.
Yep. Guns up, baby.
Yeah. So I guess what we're trying to get to is just like, how did this opportunity come from being just in Lubbock and in San Antonio, where, and at least in San Antonio, I can tell you, like the disc golf scene is definitely there, but it's not like Ledgestone there.
Right,
you know what I mean?
sure.
So how did you get in with Nate?
And why Ledgestone?
Yeah, and get into Ledgestone
Yeah.
and be the right hand man.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's been a journey. To be honest, I was sitting at my home. I was in grad school at the time. I was at Northwest Missouri State, home of the Bearcats. So a smaller Division two school. I was in studying my master's in recreation. And I just happened to be on Facebook, and I knew Ledgestone was a larger tournament because I had seen some coverage like, Paige Pierce, Ricky Wysocki, Paul, and they're raving about the event, the amount of spectators, and Nate had put a feeler out for a paid staff position. And so this was the coordinator of volunteers. And so I got to thinking about how what I do right now in campus rec really kind of it can be rolled over into what a coordinator of volunteers does, and being organized, and being detail oriented, and being able to communicate well. And so I went out on a whim and replied to a Facebook post in 2016, and got to talking with Nate. And a couple years after that, I found that I was the assistant director of Ledgestone, and
So 2 years after that conversation that you had, so it was a process.
Yeah, it was actually 2 or 3 years, but I replied to a Facebook post, and now I'm here. Like I mean, it's a lot goes into that.
Sure.
A lot does. A lot of behind the scenes work, and
well, did you TD events before that?
No. Like
This is an
awesome. I was just a player. Like
I was expecting TD for years before.
Yeah.
And then
no, it's.
But it makes sense. Like coordinating with staff, that is so important, especially
Absolutely.
when you have a lot of staff that I know they volunteer their work. So like what I see when I go to these events is like they're getting people to do the UDIS, they're getting people to do the live scoring now. Like there's
Absolutely.
so much now that goes into it, and there's so many volunteers that are needed.
Yeah.
And organizing all those people, oh my god.
Yeah, well,
you can never have enough, right?
Yeah.
No, and it's funny. Like today, I was on. I've been emailing back and forth with St. Jude and some other volunteer groups around the area and of Peoria. But yeah, it's a lot of organizing, communicating, and a lot of time on the phone. So, but to kind of get back to where it all started was, what I was doing was I was organizing leagues for college kids, right? Kickball, softball, soccer, flag football, basketball. And so what I was doing there, I could easily translate
into
disc golf in the tournament directing side of things. And so it was, it was a really an interesting transition, kind of dipping my toes into the disc golf scene. And I had no idea like what to expect.
Yeah.
Like I was going there and I was like, okay, my role is to find people to help us. Like essentially it was find people to help us run this large tournament. And so looking back on that now, and now that I'm kind of overseeing our coordinators of parking and volunteers and hospitality and stuff like that, it's crazy to see where disc golf has gone from 2017 until now.
Yeah.
I mean, the game, just doesn't look the same. I mean, whenever you go to a tournament, you're being greeted by a parking attendant or someone, a staff member dedicated to the event and showing you where you need to go, or you're having to pay to park.
Yeah.
And so, definitely cool.
A lot
cool
different. It's blowing up. Like the whole sport's blowing up.
Yeah.
And you got in, when was the first year that you were actually working for Ledgestone at the event?
Like in Peoria?
Yes.
Or so I moved to Peoria January 2021. So this was in the middle of COVID.
Yeah.
So one of my first projects was to put a COVID plan together alongside Nate. And so that was really interesting to see kind of where the sport was going at that time, to where it's like, hey, we have so many players, so many new players who want to play these tournaments. But with COVID, how are we going to be able to make that happen? And how are we going to be able to do that in a safe way? And so that was cool to kind of get, my feet really wet, going into my first, disc golf role full time. And so, definitely fun.
That's cool. That was my
really
first Ledgestone.
Was 2021?
2021, yeah, when I went to go play.
Yeah. So, I mean, anywhere from, marking orange circles around tee pads to where only one person's allowed inside the orange box to tee off to, hand sanitation and, all these, the porta potties and how we,
Yeah, because after COVID, like we all had to operate differently. And it was like, definitely. I mean, it was, it was one of those things where we had hand sanitizer everywhere.
Absolutely.
Like for any moment you could think of, like when you're greeting somebody, you shake their hand sanitizer.
Yeah, exactly.
Go to the restroom. I mean, you should always do that, right?
Well,
but,
yes. Yeah.
But it was more than usual.
Yes. Yes.
Everything.
Dry hands, man.
Everything. Yeah. Lots of dry hands,
bro. Yes.
So yeah, that's I can see why he would definitely come and bring you up for that, knowing that you have that background in organizing stuff like that.
Yeah, and that was like it was actually a couple years process to kind of get me up there because I was still very passionate.
You worked for the event prior, just not in person.
I was So basically, I was just contracted out. At the time I was working at Texas Tech. And so I still had a love and a passion for campus rec and working with college kids and developing their skills and, getting to see them from when they're a freshman to a senior and, maybe going to their graduation to watch them walk the stage. I was very into that and the development of young college kids. And then, myself and Nate got to talking and I knew that I had a passion for the sport and I wanted to get into it, but I just wasn't sure where my place was. And so after, really 6 months of, serious talks of, hey, where am I going to live? What is my life going to look like? Moving across the country. What is my family going to say whenever I'm telling them, hey, I'm going to move and I'm going to go work in the sport of disc golf? And they're like, what is
in Peoria, Illinois?
Yeah, in Peoria.
Where?
Yeah.
Where?
Sure. But, that was, in my mind, the best decision, one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. And, just going.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I want to go, I want to do this. How am I going to get there? And just go. So, yeah.
That's awesome. And dude, it really is in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like everybody knows, like they know and they see, Eureka Temp and it looks awesome. And you're like, man, this is huge. But when the first time I went there, I'm driving out and this road is like middle of nowhere, nothing but cornfields.
Oh yeah.
Just cornfields. And then we're driving down this little road and we're going 30 and it's cornfield. And then all of a sudden just boom, like it opens up and I'm like, oh, this is Ledgestone.
Yeah, like, this is Lake Eureka.
Lake Eureka. This is so cool, man.
Eureka,
yeah, dude.
I actually lived there. I lived 3 blocks away from the course. I could step out my back door and see the tower. So yeah, I mean, it was cool for the event. But like,
every other time just
it was, I mean, a town of 5,000, for me, it was tough, right? Like now that I live in Houston, Texas here, I'm like, man, I have Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
I have Whataburger.
Oh, yeah.
I have a Target right down the street.
All within 5 minutes.
I have everything here. It's just
what
amazing.
should be 5 minutes, but it takes about an hour. Yeah.
And I have a disc golf course that I can ride my scooter to and just go out and play.
Which course?
Scooter gang, dude.
Bandit.
Nice.
Bandit. So, I mean, it's nothing luxurious.
Hey.
But man, I can go out there and spend my lunch break on the disc golf course every day, and it takes me about an hour to play all. Right now, there's 17 holes.
Yeah.
They're doing some work
on 18,
out there. Between 17 and 18.
Yeah, they're like
I think they're putting some
in.
pipes in. Yeah. So yeah, I'm definitely happy.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
So fast forward, we have now moved back to Texas.
Yeah, we're back in Texas.
But not San Antonio or Lubbock.
Yeah.
So you're just getting all around Texas now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've moved my life now. This is my 7th time. So and every time I've moved, it's because of work or school. And so definitely happy to be moving back here to Texas. One, for the excellent food Okay.
Yes.
The tacos are great.
Yes.
But also, it was really important to me to get back to being closer to my family. I've never lived this close to my family since I was like 18. And so like knowing that this weekend I'm just going to go get to spend time with my family. It's just going to be, a 3-hour trip. I'm like, this is awesome.
That's awesome.
Like I don't need to be.
You know what's cool too is just another thing. Or there's a couple more things we'll touch on how
Sure.
we're connected, and it's so weird. But you know where Jamie's family lives, and not only that, where he and his dad go play every Christmas.
December 26th.
December 26th.
Day after.
Every single time.
Isn't it like down by your mom and pop's?
Close. You know this course very well.
Oh yeah.
Is the Zip?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Zip.
So my dad and I have a tradition, and I don't know that we really recognize it. Like, I don't think we really like talk about it. Like we don't, we're not sitting around the dinner table talking about, our tradition on December 26th. But yeah, we go every year.
That's awesome.
And go check out the Zip, and man, how that course has really come alive in the last 3 years. It's slowly becoming one of my favorite disc golf courses in Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So
And did you play it before it was Justin's design? Where it was just that like on the side of the hill, like
no, I must know, because I've always played to where you go across like the bridge.
Okay, good.
So I've always known the Zip to have that cool bridge when you walk over, I think, to hole 7 on 17.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
versus
17 coming back, and then because you cross over, and then you come back.
You
so,
cross it twice.
So you after 6, you cross.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to 7.
So I mean, yeah, we go every year, and it's always just a treat to just get to go out, and like my dad and I, when we go out and play, like we may not even like talk much. it's just us being out on the course.
Yeah.
Has just, it's definitely a hobby.
It's got
for us. It's connected us.
Yeah.
And so
it's got
definitely
everything
cool.
on there.
The
Everything
Zip.
Texas that you can think of,
Yes.
the Zip has.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the
What was
Zip.
that, horses.
Little elevation. Yeah. It even has horses on
horses.
the property.
It's missing
There's-
cowboys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That gives you an opportunity to be a
Ralph,
cowboy.
Ralph is kind of a cowboy.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
true,
know,
man.
man.
It's
He
true.
kinda
Which
is.
one's Ralph?
Ralph's the old man that actually owns the property.
Okay.
I'm guarantee you've seen him out there.
I'm sure. I mean, I feel like every time that we're out there, they're doing something.
Yes.
What that something is, we're not sure whether that's they're hanging out on the Zip, or the shop's opening. You have a group of folks out there to go buy stuff or play. But yeah, definitely just a course that I love to just go and see every year, because I know that there's going to be maybe a little bit of a change.
Yeah, there's always a little bit.
And then, of course, getting to see the horses on the course is super cool.
Horses
Yeah.
of courses, baby.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Dude, Jason's got an ace out there.
Yeah. What's
Oh,
that?
really?
Yeah, he's got a tournament
Where at?
ace.
Yeah. 2.
Hole 2.
Hole 2.
The one going
Yeah.
up the hill.
Yeah, nice up.
Forehand.
Forehand, air to
Alpha?
chains.
Yep.
It was an
Really?
alpha?
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Really?
Yeah.
It was one of the Hill Country stamped ones too.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
We did with Mint. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a good one.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
we did a tournament out there. Which is kind of a good segue into what I was going to ask Jamie. I love the Ledgestone shirt.
Hey, thank you.
You
Available shopledgestone.com.
shop ledgestone.com right here.
Yes. Right. Bing.
So you're still rocking the Ledgestone. So
Absolutely.
Letting all the viewers know you still work for Ledgestone.
Yeah. So I'm getting to work remotely. So my new office space is one of the rooms in my house. And so, have a big old desk, monitors, computer. I'm able to fully operate out of my house. And a lot of what I do now is, like we had talked about, is, organizing staff, getting people together, and then all of the way back end stuff. So it's, the porta potties, the like everything that people really don't think about. It's, where all of our rope comes
flags that need
from.
to be ordered.
Yeah,
Hey,
our
all
red and
that
green
is super
flags,
important.
all of our paint, right? Our air horns, and I've had quite a few safety meetings here in the last month with Seth, and just talking about how how disc golf has changed over the last few years is that I'm having meetings on, player safety, spectator safety, where we're gonna go in the event of catastrophic, weather, whatever. Right.
That
and
happened.
So
that happened the first year I was there.
It happened. Yeah. Which the lightning was crazy.
The lightning strike, and they ended up canceling the last round.
Yeah. A tie. We had a tie with Calvin and Ricky.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. Not the result that we wanted.
Yeah, I remember because the talk was that Kyle Klein was shredding it.
Oh yeah, he was coming back.
He's like 8 through 9 or something.
He was coming back,
shredding it. Yeah.
Going off.
Yeah. So I'm able to work remotely. I spend a lot of time on my phone, which I don't know that I like, but I'm thankful that it's available. So it's a lot of phone calls, a lot of Zoom. I am, I'm traveling some. I got back not too long ago from Virginia, which I don't know if you guys know this, but we are hosting Pro Worlds in 2024 in Lynchburg, Virginia. Beautiful country there. I love it. So I got to go out there and check out one of the courses that we're going to use, Ivy Hill, which is an amazing place. Very, very green. And the course that Paul, Nate have designed is, it's impeccable. I love it.
That's where Paul's living, or not now. He moved again to Florida, right? But he did live in Lynchburg.
So Paul lived in Lynchburg for a couple of years, and so he has a lot of ties there. A lot of folks. I'm not sure about I think he does have family there, but he has a lot of connections. And so
isn't it Hannah the one that has a lot of family out there?
Yes. Yeah. So Hannah has the family out there, but I think it was the weekend after Vegas this year is I made a trip out to Virginia with Paul and got to run Flex Start out there. And then there was also a collegiate tournament being held on the Ivy Hill course. And so that was
Is there
really
footage
cool.
of that? Did they
I believe Foundation may have something out on it. I think Hunter, they made a video, Hunter and Trevor made a video on that on their Flex Start. To be honest, the day of the Flex Start was, I think the high was probably 48 and windy gusts of winds like 35. Oof. And it was not the best time.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
But of course, every other day was, sunshine and butterflies, 75 out. It was beautiful. But I'm definitely excited for Worlds being hosted out there in 2024.
And you'll be tackling that too as well?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, we're already starting, work on 2024.
Love that.
Nice,
gotta keep busy, man.
Yes, sir.
Gotta keep busy, keep you out of trouble.
So back in Houston, like over 1,000 miles away, right? And still working.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
I love it.
Yeah. And then we've seen each other on the road here.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You're also popping up for Ledgestone, so it's kind of cool to like have that Ledgestone presence because we never had that down south.
Sure.
Like we never did. I mean, like I said, just a year ago, it was hard to get Discraft in our shops.
Sure.
Now we got you.
Yeah.
And, not only are you getting it, but you've shown love to other shops like me. And we've gotten all the plastic from Ledgestone here at the shop and just been killing it. Yeah. Like, really has.
Yeah. And I mean, the fact that, Nate trusts me to, operate a truck and trailer for us, speaks volumes to me.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely thankful for him to allow me this kind of opportunity to continue to grow within myself too, because those are things that I want to go out and I want to be in front of the people. Like that's what I get excited for. And so getting to go out and vend at the player party at Waco was awesome.
Yeah.
You guys were there. You all were set up close to us, but not too close.
Yeah.
So that was fun. I mean, there were people everywhere.
That was a lot. I would say a lot better than last time.
Really? Yeah.
Maybe
That's
it was
what I
just
heard.
for us.
No, because they had the whole street shut down, and like then the players were out in the street.
That's true.
When we were there, they didn't even have that. There was
Yeah.
like cars driving by and
That
stuff.
was true.
It was busy.
Oh, wow. Cars.
But-
It was, because usually they have it on the bridge.
Right.
But the last 2 years they've had it at that brewery because there's construction on the bridge.
Right.
So yeah, I mean it's been great, and this year was really good for us because this was like they were there last time, but they weren't there for long. We've really built a relationship with another reason why him and I are connected. Or we're all connected in another way. Jamie is also really good friends with the kids, you know, Val, Mason, and Alexis, and actually sponsors Alexis as well. So like, you know, let's talk about that connection because you've known them for a long time.
Yeah.
For a long time.
Which is crazy because, you know, especially here in the last couple of months, you know, being back in Texas, I think about the people that, you know, I've crossed paths with and you know, share memories with. And so I think, you know, it was probably back in 2015, 2016 or so, you know, other friends of Alexis and Val, you know, invited me to go out and play doubles with them. And at the time, I didn't really know who Alexis or Val were. And, you know, I got, you know, carded up with Art, their father.
Oh, yeah.
And so it was him and I, and then Val, and I think I don't know if you know Jordan Knowles.
I do, actually.
Yeah. Jordan, I think he still plays. And then Anthony Frater was partners with Alexis, I think, and myself and Art actually beat them all.
Ooh.
Yeah, we beat them.
You see that?
Yeah.
You see that spice in that? He's like, yeah.
I actually like to bring this story up every time that I see the girls, just so then they know, like, hey, I'm still.
This is how I know he has a good relationship with them because that's just like us. All we do is talk trash.
Right.
That is all they.
And so you know, just getting to see their journey in this sport has been awesome to see because you know I knew that, you know, back in 2015, 2016 when I really kind of started dedicating a lot of my spare time to the sport and you know, on the playing side, I knew that I was not going to be, you know, a touring pro and getting to go out and do all these cool things and make money on the road. So I had to figure something else out. And kind of like I kind of alluded to was I had to find my place in the sport. Yeah. And so I knew I wanted to be a part of it.
That's like what I did. Yeah. Same thing.
Right. And so I think we all kind of have, right?
Yeah.
It's you know, recognizing what you're good at and in instilling that in what you do within the sport. That's how you get started in any kind of industry, right? And so seeing their journey and where I'm kind of come from and where I've gone, and it's really cool to see them at tournaments because we don't really have to say much. It's usually just a hug. Hey, how are you doing? It's great to see you. Yeah. If there's anything that I can do, please, you know, ask. And you know, it's just been cool. And you know their parents kind of allowing them to, you know, get out and just go. Yeah. Is just been awesome.
Yeah. It's been super sweet, man. And they always have nothing but good things to say about you every time I bring you up. And I think it was funny too that one time where you were looking at houses when you came down to Houston.
Oh yeah.
We had lunch, you, me, and Lance. And, yeah. That's another funny story.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. We won't have to talk about that. Yeah. But we went to the pickleball.
Pala.
Pala.
Ooh,
oh yeah.
Plug.
Let's not tell them.
Sorry.
Yeah. Free pickleball paddles.
Yeah, unless we get free. Yeah. So we went to the pickleball, and they had texted me what I was doing, and I was like, I'm in Houston, and I'm like, oh yeah, they really know Jamie well. So I took a picture of me and Jamie and sent it to them, and they were just like so mad. Like they were so mad at me. They're just like, wow, cheating on us.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, yeah, they're super jealous.
Oh,
Mason is a super jealous person. I'm just gonna put that out there right there.
Ayo. It's funny.
No, man. So now, future. I know we talked about worlds. I want to ask here, in front of everyone.
Sure.
kind of like what Jason calls, "Well, will you marry me?" type deal. But like,
Yeah.
can we run an event together?
I mean, I don't know why we couldn't.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, yeah, yes. When, where?
So
What are we gonna do?
I'm thinking like you showed interest already, and I'd love this place already. And Adam's my really good friend who I introduced you to.
Yes, and we had talked at the Fly Mart in Houston.
Yes.
Here.
Yeah.
At Carbach. Yes.
Exactly. I think like because the problem before was the fact that it just didn't have like that notoriety. Nobody had come into play it yet, and then Skins came, and now we got Luke Humphreys with his channel and GK Pro there, showing off the ranch. So that's super dope. But I think like what also would do it great is we had a huge tournament with somebody the likes of you, because I've run a tournament there, and I feel like we did a great job. It wasn't really much to do because Adam keeps that place so perfect and flagged and everything. But I feel like with a little bit of that Ledgestone magic,
love.
Yeah. I feel like we could really pull off something cool. Possibly maybe after all the heat that comes through.
Yeah. Definitely.
I think that would be dope. So I wanted to pitch that to you live so that you couldn't say no.
Yeah. I love that you just kind of cornered me into this.
So what are you gonna say?
Yeah.
I mean, yes. Yeah. I mean, I think that's a great idea, Adam. Right?
Adam.
Yeah, we had talked very briefly, and I think that's definitely an opportunity that I think I there's no way that I could say no to that.
Yeah, it's a beautiful.
I mean, as
course.
long as our schedules kind of align and we have enough.
Well, I've already sanctioned it, so
okay, all right. It's already sanctioned. There are players. Yeah. They don't know who the director is of the tournament.
Yeah,
but
it's said unknown, but
question
details to come. But
it does say Ledgestone on there. But,
Legendstone's already on.
No
there.
big deal.
I knew you said there's no E.
Yeah. Nice.
Man.
Yeah. No, I mean, I was talking to a couple players and what they've heard about the ranch. I've heard nothing but really good things, and y'all have talked it up. I mean, I think it's a no brainer for us.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yes. Perfect. Awesome. Yeah, and that's what I was trying to get into though.
Sure.
Are we gonna be, since you're now here and you have that great relationship, obviously you work with Ledgestone.
Yeah.
Are we gonna see kind of like a Ledgestone South? Are you going to be running events here in the South for Ledgestone?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
are we allowed to talk about that?
We are. I mean, yeah. I mean, Big Arms on the Brazos, man. October 21st and 22nd, Lubbock, Texas. I'm getting to come home and run a tournament, and that's like
nice.
For me to actually get to say that into a mic, right now I'm like my hairs are kind of standing up a little bit. Definitely something that when athletes and players like dream like I dream of winning a championship. I dream of doing. I once dreamt of like running a disc golf tournament in Lubbock, Texas, where I learned how to play the sport.
That's awesome.
So I'm very fortunate that I was able to submit a bid for that, and we got it, and I'm fortunate, man. I'm fortunate to be able to do this, and Big Arms on the Brazos, October 21st through the 22nd, Lubbock, Texas.
Bam.
It's about to go down.
Yes.
And I am so excited to like finally get to really have my own tournament. Like this is a Jamie Kemp show. And so you are
LeBron James going back to Cleveland and getting them a ring. Dude.
I don't know. That's a little much. I mean, I don't know about that.
But you're right.
But yeah. It was
no. I mean, when it was first announced, the amount of support that the community of Lubbock poured in through Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that, it was so exciting. Like I was almost even worried if we were going to have more like volunteer help than actual players. I'm just like, well, look, like someone has to play.
Yeah.
And so
there's only so many of us here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes,
Right. And so,
exactly.
man, I think about big arms on the Brazos every single day. And I haven't put too much like information out there yet, because I'm really wanting to get everything in line before I go and just pour it out to the community. So I'm definitely thankful for the Lubbock community and being patient. But we still have a lot of time.
Yeah.
So we are good.
Yeah.
Registration for that event is going to be open in the middle of June. So definitely excited for that. Make sure, I mean, heck, if you guys are wanting to come out there, man, I would love to have y'all.
We'll definitely be there.
So,
I might play it, man. I've been wanting to play an event.
Should.
I think that'd be
That would
one.
be sweet, dude.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Actually play it.
Yeah. And so I'm not only wanting to bring a tournament to the Lubbock community, I'm wanting to bring an event. And so there are a lot of other smaller events that are planned around Big Arms that I'm definitely excited for. Well, shoot, I'm not sure that there's pickleball courts in Lubbock that are going to be easy to get.
Just get a tennis court
accessible.
And spray the lines.
Yeah, and then I get kicked out of Lubbock for graffitiing up the courts. So, yeah, but I mean, stuff like that I'm definitely interested in doing because I know pickleball is just a huge sport. I mean, what we just saw on ESPN on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was amazing. But yeah,
and all the pros are getting it. All the disc golfers are into it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I see Paul caught the bug too.
Oh yeah, he's got like and sinker.
Such a dope paddle too.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. Only the best, right?
Sure,
Guy drives a McLaren, right?
Yeah,
he's gonna get the nicest pickleball paddle.
For sure.
Better. He should.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're the freaking GOAT, dude, you don't not get the paddle. You know what I mean?
Sure.
You have to get the paddle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome, man.
So yeah, Big Arms on the Brazos, October 21st through the 22nd, Lubbock, Texas. I'll have a lot more information on that here in the coming months. Registration is going to be opening up in the middle of June, so be on the lookout for that. So yeah, that is my first kind of go at Ledgestone, kind of maybe creeping down south.
Ledgestone south. I just threw that out there.
Yeah,
I know
mean,
it's not gonna be that, but it's pretty much what it is. You know
I mean, I'll
be.
be honest. I haven't had too much talks with Nate in the sense of us, being a brick and mortar or anything along those lines. Nate has said it best, and for us to stick to things that we're good at, and I think with running disc golf tournaments, we have a lot of experience with that. Not only myself and Nate, but the staff that we surround ourselves with is incredible.
Yeah.
So
really is. We've been to several big pro tour events, and Ledgestone is one of those where I'm like, because I've been to some and I'm like, okay, we'll probably not do that one next year. We'll go here. But Ledgestone is one of those where it's like, oh yeah, bet we're going. We have to go to Ledgestone
for sure.
And it's because y'all do such a great job organizing everything. It really helps us. I mean, you had us at an AM course at Bradley.
Yep.
All week. What I mean, which is awesome for the vendors because then. We're not stuck at like Eureka Tent with what you guys have with awesome event where all the pros are. We get all the AMs, and those are the ones that want to purchase new discs.
Absolutely.
And see something new. Like, because we're from San Antonio, we're and from Houston.
Yes.
So the stuff that we have and the stamps that we have, they've never seen before.
Right.
So putting us there, awesome. Cool. It was awesome. And then the Fly Mart that y'all have awesome drops that come out.
Yeah.
It's a whole experience. Like as a spectator, even as a player, I mean, it's great to no, you know what? I want to ask you one thing though, real quick.
Sure.
Is Ledgestone going to start doing what a lot of those others are doing, and it's kind of breaking off into an AM? Who is it?
It's celebrity night, dude.
That's nothing. Good. Nothing.
Yeah. So is it going to break off ever into like an AM Pro weekend, like a different?
Yeah, so that's like a burning question. I feel like to a lot of folks is that you know, why not make it a little bit easier on yourselves and split it up into weekends, right? So similar to other tournaments, you know, the first thing that comes to mind would probably be throw down the mountain, right? In the sense that they kind of they split their divisions up into multiple weekends. Well, for us to be able to run an event like Ledgestone, we also have to, you know, reserve and pay for quite a few of the parks that we use because we completely shut them down.
The whole city. Yeah.
So I would say no is the short answer to that. But, you know, is that a possibility in the future? Sure.
Well, I
mean, at the same time, if you think about it, we're also running Worlds, right? So we have AM Worlds coming up June 26th through July 1st. And so, you know, the community there, people outside of the community of Central Illinois still get a chance to kind of get the AM side experience there as well. So.
Yeah. No, the reason I asked is because I personally, I guess as a vendor, I understand it as a player because like the AMs get to play and then the next weekend they can go see the pros and not be playing while the pros are playing. But I guess as a vendor, it's tough for us to like pick, okay, do we go the AM weekend? Do we go the pro weekend because of the spectators?
Well, then now, I mean, you don't even have a choice, right?
Yeah.
It's just one weekend and that's what you get.
That's
and so it not only the vendors, but I think the players enjoy it as well. Sorry, the professionals do.
Sure.
In the sense that they're able, they have their community, their buyers right there who are playing in the event too. So with the AMs being there, the pros being able to sell some of their merch, it's just definitely awesome. So
yeah, man. Well, that's good to hear because that's like going and seeing Worlds. You know, there was a time where we had the pros and then the AM, and that it kind of took away a little bit. I think. I don't know. Was it Worlds or was it DDO?
It was DDO.
Yeah.
Yes, it was DDO.
Yeah. Oh no, they are breaking it up, I believe.
Yeah, they are, and actually, I may be up there to vend that.
Yeah, the AMs or the pros.
I'm potentially going to GBO. I've never been to GBO.
Oh, the glass ball.
Yeah, so how they've done it now is they have split up. So DDO is the professional side, and GBO is the AM side.
Okay.
And
then
so
I'm guessing the GBO is going to be the one to go to.
Yeah, well, it would make sense for us to go and vend that one versus probably DDO.
I guess like another bad thing for us, I'm just going to point out for everybody, is that our pros help us sell.
Yes.
When they come to the booth and they're signing discs and stuff like that. So when it's separate weekends, it just makes it tough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they're not there and it can be tough. But the block party they have there.
Have you ever been?
Yeah.
I've never been. So
it was amazing.
Oh, bro, they shut like the whole main street down. They have
That's
like
what
a
I
big
hear.
stage.
It's like Fiesta in San Antonio.
Oh, nice.
Just a bunch of booths, but instead of like good like fatty foods, it's like vendors.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And fatty food.
And fatty foods.
Yeah, we need to like combine that.
Yeah.
Like Nyosa Fiesta into a disc golf block party. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Sorry.
All right.
Thoughts?
San Antonio.
And
Here we come.
You got anything you want to plug, my man?
Man, honestly, I don't. I mean, huge shout out to Ledgestone. Nate, thank you so much for every opportunity that you ever given me. My girlfriend Taylor, who has allowed me to continue to chase my dreams in the sport that I love, my family. Yeah. And thank y'all for allowing me to come out here and talk.
Yeah.
Our pleasure.
It's awesome.
This was one that I was definitely, and we kind of threw it together, but I was really excited to do it. We had no script again.
Nope.
It was just Jamie comes in and he's just like, so what are we going to talk about?
Yeah, I was not sure, and that was totally fine.
Yeah,
so,
I was just like, I'm going to ask you stuff that you know everything about. Let's just go with the flow. And I didn't really know your whole story with Ledgestone, so I was like, I'm going to talk about that because that's something that I was interested in.
Definitely.
And it's interesting hearing how paths get created in a Facebook post, and then that changed into you moving to Peoria, and then now you're back in Houston, and you're running a tournament back where you started playing disc golf. So it's like a full circle
teaming up with
thing.
Lucky Ace and doing an event at the ranch.
Yeah,
like, I mean, man, it's just like,
the
it's a really cool kind of hear those kind of stories because it kind of inspires people as well.
Well, the thing is, and like people ask me, like the number one question I get asked is exactly what you asked me was, how did you get into this? Like, basically them ask, how do I get your job?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well,
I'm not telling you.
No.
We'll see.
No,
It's taken.
Credentials. Seriously though.
Yeah, right. But like, it's when you find an opportunity, go and get it.
Yep.
Like, you don't sit back and wait for someone to ask you, hey, do you want a job in disc golf? No, go out there and get it.
Yep.
Right. Like that's what I tell folks is like, if you're wanting to really have a job in the sport of disc golf, do not wait, because the time is now.
Yeah, it is.
The time is now to get into the sport and to chase those dreams of working in the sport.
Yep.
And so, like, don't sit back and wait for an email to come through or a call to come through your phone. It's not going to happen. You have to go find it and go and get it. Like that's my advice to anybody who asks about how you got into the sport. How do I get a job in the sport? It's if you see a Facebook post about any tournament in the world and it's available to you, go and get it.
Yes.
Go and get it.
It's going to be a lot of work, but go and get it. Yeah.
Love it, man.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you coming on, Jamie.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
man. I really appreciate you.
Yeah,
man.
guys.
Cool.
Well, we'll definitely have you back on.
Absolutely.
Another time whenever we're getting closer to the Brasso, so you can go ahead and plug that more.
I love that.
Shed some more information on what you got going on over there.
Sweet.
Love it.
And also when we do our tournament together.
Yes.
And maybe
Yes.
after Ledgestone, we'll talk about it too.
Yeah.
Sweet, man. Yep. I
All
love
right.
it. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, guys.
Have a great night,
Thanks
homie.
for
Yeah,
coming, bro.
thank you.